Hey y'all, welcome to Black Span. So I'm back really quick here. I want to talk about the $5 Indian. Okay, but first I want to start by talking about the actual Indians and how the $5 Indian came to be. So basically the $5 Indian is mixed with indigenous, which is us, and probably Portuguese, Italian, French, Sicilian. Well, that's Italian. European, something from over there in Europe, right? Okay. So with that being said, what happened was I'm gonna say in around the 1700s, because they had several acts that impeded upon the land and the rights of the Aborigine or the Indian. So we could even take this back to, now this is conjecture on my part, but I feel like the Indians got mixed back in Roanoke when first Roanoke people came here and they said they came back, they was all dead. I really think they came back and they was all mixed into the Aboriginal society or the natives that were already here. So, oh well, not natives, the indigenous people that were already here. So they were no longer recognizable. So anywho, the $5 Indian. So there was a act in the 1800s, the Dawes Act, and all that did was, so the Dawes Act, all that, I'm sorry, somebody was texting me. All that did was to impede on the rights of the Indians. And what I mean by that is it offered land allotments, education, health, and certain things like that back in the day that looked so glamorous and so glorious, to where they wanted those rights. And then white people was like, well, shit. Now we're not talking about the elite white people, but regular white people was like, damn, the Indians supposed to get out of that. Let me go try to be an Indian too. And they would bribe the Dawes Commission with $5. $5 was a lot back in them days. Remember, we talking about back in the day when a loaf of bread was a nickel. You know what I'm saying? And a dress was $1. You know what I'm saying? And a formal nice dress was, you know what I'm saying, $25, $30. You see what I'm saying? Most stuff was handmade and people did for themselves back in those days. So we're not talking about a minuscule amount of money. And if you got thousands of people giving this individual $5, you see what I'm saying? That's a get rich quick scheme. So don't discount the fact that it was $5 by no means. So anywho, so we have the Dawes Act taking place. So in that same time, because people love to say slaves came from Africa and all this here. When I've already explained to you in my video down below, I love to do this right here, down below, that you are indigenous, you are not African. And what I mean by that is they have no unequivocal proof that they even brought people here from Africa. All they have is hearsay and words, you know what I'm saying? And they love to say, oh, the person that won the war writes history. But if you won, why do you have to rewrite history and pretend like and make up all these lies? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. There were people here already. They got into it with the new supposed to be settlers, and they clashed. They had a fight, and then they became prisoners of war, because no one from a tropical climate like Africa can come down here to where there's very harsh winters and know how to irrigate this land. That's just what the fuck. No, that's not possible. So and then on top of that, whenever you want to colonize, if you look up colonization and how you do it, the first thing you do is mix in with the people that you're trying to colonize and create a new breed of people. Just like they love to say the Moors are the biggest race traders of them all, but the Moors aren't the biggest race traders. It's the biracial offspring of the Moors from when they were when North Africa was first colonized that are the biggest race traders of America. They love to say Africans sold each other into slavery. No, it wasn't the Africans that sold each other into slavery. It was the colonized mind of the mixed breed offspring, or the offspring of the rape and the genocide that were the race traders and that sold people into slavery. If you're gonna go by that logic, just like here, it was the indigenous mixed breed offspring that sold out the Aborigine here. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't Native Americans, which is a misnomer, but it wasn't Native Americans selling out Native Americans. It was the European mixed with Native Americans that was selling out the 100% blood Native Americans. Okay, so you remember what's that dude name? He taught E.B. Du Bois. E.B. Du Bois, when E.B. Du Bois wanted to be so white. I'm gonna have to do a video on him because he's a whole ass nigga. But what was his name? Hubbard. God damn it. What was his name? Give me one moment. I am going to find it. Shit, it's gonna be on this phone, not this phone. God damn it. I gotta start putting my notes on all my phones. Let's see. His name is gonna come to me. Damn it, I hate when I forget something and I'm trying to remember. Is Instagram on this phone? Because I text the information to somebody. Instagram. No. What about screenshots? No. Oh, well, it's not on here. But the dude who created the Out of Africa theory. I'm going to have to do a video about the Out of Africa theory so his name could just come up to me. But let me see. Screenshots. I'm going to try one more time to find it. Because I really want to say this man's name. Screenshots. No, it's not on here, y'all. What is his name? Dang it! I hate when I forget stuff. So, anywho. So, it's going to come to me sometime. Sometime today. So, anyway, so there was a theory put forth, the Out of Africa theory, that everybody that looked like us came from Africa, and that's not necessarily true. That's not true at all. So what the thing that bothered me the most in my research is that they did a divide and conquer type of thing. So now we were accepting of our counterparts as far as the mixed people of the offspring of the Indian who may or may not have made it with the people of Roanoke. They made it with somebody and became lighter skinned. So what they did was they did a Willie Lynch light skin versus dark skin thing on the Indians, where they was like, man, them dark skinned Muskogee, they got bigger families, they gonna get all this here shit. Cause remember, the light skin, for lack of a better term, the mixed or the light skinned Indians had smaller families than the Aborigine or the indigenous Indian, because you know what I'm saying. To family is tribe, and tribe is family, and a bunch of tribes is nation. Even though that's some shit that they made up as far as nation, but so on paper and demographically, it looked like the darker skinned indigenous people or tribesmen had larger families, and then the mix didn't, because the mix made it with the mix, because they already had gave them this sense of superiority. They already had got into their minds already. So they started thinking that they were somewhat better than the dark-skinned native. So, or Aborigine or indigenous person, however you want to refer to them. So remember, because at this time, they were during the same time that they were taking Indian lands and giving out land allotments and doing the Homestead Act and all this here stuff. Remember, the Peace and Friendship Treaty, that shit came out in the 1700s. So we're talking about a time where slavery was still taking place. And during slavery, you still had the dark-skinned Indian in bondage, in chattel slavery, while the light-skinned one was made treaties with and talked to and dealt with, because the white man or the European knew that this was their biracial offspring. Remember, this is what they do to colonize. They take the biracial, they come in, they plant their seed, then they raise up those biracial offspring and think they're better than their forefathers, in this case us, think they're better than their forefathers, and then once they get that into their head, then they start negotiating under that false pretense that they are better. You know what I'm saying? That's when they get this supremacist mindset. You see what I'm saying? So we have to keep that in mind in the back of your head while I am speaking to you. So During slavery, you had their dark-skinned counterparts in captivity, in slavery, etc., etc. Don't make no mistake, there was no passive slavery. We weren't just sitting back being enslaved or nothing like that. We were actually fighting over and over again. We was using herbal science to poison masters, take over plantations, take over lands. This was not something that was dealt with on a level in which we were just taking it. You know what I'm saying? We were just taking the grunt of it and we wasn't doing anything about it. That's not true at all. So I want us to understand that. And I want us to understand it. So, the guy who his name was Merville Hobrinsky or some shit like that. Anyway, he's the one that put forth the Out of Africa theory. So, and the reason why that was important was because it's paper genocide, like they did to us during the Native American. But we're gonna get through all that. So, so remember, and keep that in your mind. They breed with us, separate us, and then promise the mixed of us all this stuff to help them oppress or keep us in line. The dark skin of them that is still pure blood, so to speak. So now let's fast forward through our time. I just went to dip back in slavery and colonialism just to explain the mindset of today's Indian. You see what I'm saying? Because today's Indian think that they're Indian, they're Aboriginal, they are the indigenous ones. They were here when Christopher Columbus came, and when Andrew Jackson and Columbus and Amerigo and all those people were slaughtering the Native Americans. They, in their mind, they actually believed that was them. They actually believed that it was them and not me. Okay, so let's go back to the Dawes Commission and the Indian Removal Act, the Indian Recognition Act. There were so many acts put out to paperwork us out of our identity. So it is crazy. And not to mention the people that look just like me who didn't trust the government at all, who didn't want to sign the Dawes Rolls, or he didn't even go get in line to be classified a Negro, colored, white, etc., who didn't even go to be classified. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a large group of people as well who just refused to be identified as such. If I turn this around. Yeah. I think I like that better. Turn around. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. So we have to keep that in mind as well. So now let's go to now, so we know how the $5 Indian came about. We know that they're brainwashed. We know that they believe that they're the Aboriginals. And most of them know that they are mixed, but they still celebrate Indigenous Day, and they still look down upon dark skin. We had an Indian chief recently who was Bob Marley for Halloween. He painted himself in blackface and everything. So who is that actions of? Is that the actions of the colonizer? Is that his colonizer genetics showing, or is that the mind frame of an indigenous person? Because a truly conscious, self-identified indigenous person is going to know that blackface is wrong. They're going to know that they're Negro too, and they're not going to participate in a systemic oppression of us as a people. So I kind of understand that they're hypnotized, but in today's society where you can really self-educate, I don't really understand why still fight under those guys. I understand not wanting to give up your identity, not wanting to give up who you are and who you are taught to be, and I do thank them for keeping the Indian culture alive, because it would have died out a long time ago if it wasn't for the mixed breed of them, the people who stole our identity. If it wasn't them for them stealing our identity and taking it upon themselves to act as if they were Indian and not just some biracial offspring who could be white, Indian, whoever the hell they chose to be. You know what I'm saying? The culture would have died a long time ago. So with the language. So for that, you know what I'm saying? For that piece of hoe ass niggerdom that they did, it kind of did help preserve my culture, so that I can still go back and learn my native tongue or my native language. You know what I'm saying? It might be hard because they don't want to give it up, but you know what I'm saying? It still exists for me to eventually try to learn. You see what I'm saying? So it's like So once they mixed in with them genetically, you know what I'm saying, and they became a mixed breed of natives. Then they did the light skin versus dark skin thing, to where when they did come to recognizing Indians and trying to do the Homestead Act and all those other fortunate things they did against the Indian people, what they did was first they had to shorten the numbers of people they was dealing with. So they get in their ear and say, hey, them dark skinned motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, they slaves, blah 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 blah. Them niggas, they really come from Africa. They really African, they not Indian, they African, you know what I'm saying? They just mixed, they just mixed with Indian, and that's how they look. So they believe that lie. So once they believe that they are the true Aboriginal, and they are really the minority of us, you see what I'm saying? Once the mixed offspring believed that they were actually the indigenous people of this land, and all of this was theirs, then they was able to say, okay, remember, this is divide and conquer. This is another strategy of colonization. So the first they mix, then they take their mixed offspring and separate them from what they're mixed with, meaning whatever European, and then whatever the indigenous of that land was, which in this case was us. The copper color Aboriginal, the copper color indigenous. So then they got them to themselves. They got this small sector of people thinking that they are the indigenous of this land, and then they can make decisions for this land. Now remember, these people are mixed. So they're in awe of, they identify with, and they look at themselves as kin to this white man they dealing with. So they feel like they're not going to be screwed over, because, hey man, you my people too, man. I got you, bro. I'm gonna look out for you too. They just see what I'm saying, how they get a motherfucking ear speak game. So boom. So they separate us. You know what I'm saying? From our bastard offspring that may have, through rape or willing sex, however they got mixed. You know what I'm saying? So and then now we're enslaved. And even after slavery, we were still going through Reconstruction and all this here stuff. So we, as the dark-skinned Aborigine, had our hands full just existing or living. While the light-skinned person saw the dark-skinned are going through, and they like, shit, that ain't us. You know what I'm saying? We strong. We Indians. We this, we tough guys. You know what I'm saying? We would never let that happen. That's why they had to negotiate with us and do paperwork with us. Now realizing that it was a divide and conquer tactic. They took the light skin, which is a small number, separate them from their forefathers, which is the majority, you know what I'm saying, to make them weak in numbers. You see what I'm saying? They are so weak in numbers at this point to where they have to sign and it's the Dawes Commission, all that shit, it sound good. We're going to make sure you get what you're owed. But how you going to but they're not thinking like we thinking over here. How you going to make sure we get what we owed when we own all of this shit? All this shit is ours. So at this point, what we can do is we can give you something to live on. We can give you a piece to live on. You see what I'm saying? But no. See, that's why I had to divide and conquer, because the indigenous Indian chief was on his shit, and he was smart. He was like, nah, no. We'll teach you how to farm. We'll teach you this. And then you can live here. You know what I'm saying? And even that got fucked over. You know what I'm saying? To where once we taught them how to farm and run some shit, then they felt like they didn't need us no more. Or they beat us into submission, stole our native tongue, made us speak English. You know what I'm saying? Made it so we couldn't read, etc., etc. Remember my earliest videos, I went back and read things that was printed during the time it was illegal for my people to read. Therefore, I could really catch on to the fuckery and the catch-22 and how they really fucked us over. You know what I'm saying? Go back and read these treaties and these acts and look at how broad that language is. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're going to go through some of them. But right now, I'm more on a social level than a political science. But I need to go back and read. I'm going to go back and I'm going to break down each one of these acts that I'm mentioning in this video. All right, now this is how they re-socialize. This is social engineering at its finest. Understand that. So now they have us separated, and they have a superiority inferiority complex going on right now. So now they're taking this small group of people, isolating them, and basically bullying them. Hey, sign this. Hey, do that. Now you have very few Indians who was like, nah, I ain't signing that shit. I'm talking about the mixed ones. I ain't signing that. I'm not doing it. That shit don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? They take them and they just put them out of the country. Oh, you go here, you go there. Gone. You know what I'm saying? And then this ideology of this Tonto style looking Indian, which is not what they really look like. When you tell an Indian that I'm 100% Indian, they think you mixed with slavery automatically, or you mixed with Negro automatically, not understanding that no, I'm not mixed. I'm pure blood, and this is what the fuck I look like. And if you was pure blood, this is what you would look like. You know what I'm saying? They don't get that. They're hypnotized and they're brainwashed till this motherfucking day. And I have proof. Stay with me. So, anywho, so once they separate them, they got them to sign off these allotment acts and saying, hey, this is where you're going to live. And then their land ownership got smaller and smaller and smaller. These reservations ain't nothing but that big. You know what I'm saying? The reservation, let me put it like this. They gave the mixed Aborigine who they conned out of their land because they still had to put this shit on paper some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So they could go back and retrace, say, no, I got this land in 17 some by way of Tonto and blah, 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 this tribe. You know what I'm saying? That's why they made the League of Nations, or the 5 civilized tribes. You know what I'm saying? Because at first they fucked their way into these tribes. Then they made their biracial offspring head of these tribes, then say they're the 5 civilized tribes. You see what I'm saying? So remember, sex, rape, and genocide and mixing in is a very crucial part of colonization, period. Okay, without rape and an offspring, you will not be able to colonize. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so now that they've got these people all to themselves, they get them to sign all this treaty, that treaty, this treaty, that treaty. You know, we already know how the Dawes Commission went. You know what I'm saying? And how they were able to save the $5 Indian. Now, during the Dawes Commission, they helped them to get rid of their dark by saying, oh, hey, they going to get more land than you. Look at how many of them is. Look how many of y'all it is. They going to get more land than you. Let's go ahead and just classify them as niggas, as Negro or colored. And then you be Indian. You see what I'm saying? So, they got them by themselves, and they started to hold them. You see what I'm saying? See, once they got rid of their counterpart, their dark-skinned forefather, you know what I'm saying, it made them weak and alone. And then once they got them weak and alone, they start rounding them up. Start rounding up their kids and putting them in schools. What's that dude name? Corey Holm, or what's that nick? I feel to find that dude name. Fuck that. I'm telling you, they put him in schools and stuff. Let me see. Not Melville. Let me see. Let me see if I took a screenshot of the dude name. Cause I actually want to start doing. I'm gonna do voiceovers on certain stuff, just so y'all can see what I'm seeing. Blah 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 blah. How do I? Here we go. What is this dude name? No, I took the screenshots on this phone too, I think. No, I could have sworn I was on this phone. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I know I took a picture of it. Hold on. His name is... John Collier. There it is. John Collier. So what they did was they put them in these contemporary schools, which is basically industrialized schools. You know how they used to, when they needed us to work for them, they put us in these what we call today trade schools. So they put these in these contemporary schools, and they took them away. They beat them for speaking their native tongue and all this. Now, this is what's happening to the light-skinned Indian now. Because they separated them from us, made them think they was better than us, gave them these land allotments, which dwindled and dwindled and dwindled by the decade. And now they really got them where they want them. And they don't need these mixed motherfuckers no more. You know what I'm saying? Now they taking their kids and putting them in industrialized schools and setting them up to be good old employees. You see what I'm saying? You see how that shit work? Just like that. So... now, they're basically getting the grunt or getting treated like we were treated. And now they're getting treated like they helped for the oppressor to treat us. You see what I'm saying? So, they never was accepted by the white man or part of what the white man had going on and this, that, and the third. All he was a stepping stool to make himself weak. They made the Aboriginal people weak by divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? They told them that, hey, y'all light, y'all hair is longer. Look at their hair sticking straight up. They made all this shit that made us great. They demonized it to our mixed counterparts. And once they demonized everything about them to them, then they start thinking, yeah, they are a little better than us. Hey, I want to be chief. We deserve to be able to be chief, but we can't be chief because of our bloodline. Well, now you can. Now you have European chiefs. You have white chiefs. You don't believe me? Let's go look. So this is a screenshot. Now this is Bill Baker. He's the chief of the Cherokee Nation. Do you see a Cherokee man here? Or do you see a white boy? Look at that. He's the chief of the Cherokee Nation. Let's look up the Creek Indian chief. Now, I'm 100% Creek. Now, let's look up a Creek Indian chief. Let's see. Creek chief. Calvin McGee. Calvin McGee. Really? That is a white boy. That is a white boy. Let's look up some more. Let's look up Red Tail Chief. Let's see. Hey Siri. Pull up a picture of Indian chiefs. Let's do that.
I couldn't find any matches in your photos library. Here are some images from the web.
These like a bunch of fucking Italians. Look at that. It's a black and white picture, so don't let the fact that it's a little Vancouver, California. Okay. So don't let the fact that it's in black and white fool you. Look at that. That ain't no old ass Italian man to you? Come on, bro. Really? Look at that nose. Come on. They love to demonize our Africanoid features, but at the end of the day, look at this man. Really? That's our Aboriginal. Really? So, if you really ask yourself, how do we go from this to this? Shit. Those are white folk. So how do we go from this? 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 How do we get white? Because they mixed in with us. Then they got the biracial offspring. They raised them up with a superiority complex. And then they got them to sell the rest of us out. And then once they finished selling us out, they flipped and did the same shit that they was helping them do to us to them. So then they sold them out and took their kids and fucked up their family, broke up their family, and sold their children into all kind of shit. And made them be industrialized and made them be cleaners and all kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, in 2020, to this day, they still think that they're the Aborigine. They're still very racist towards dark people. They still don't even believe that we're dark-skinned. You know what I'm saying? And stay tuned for part 2 because I got into it with a $5 Indian on Instagram during Thanksgiving weekend. Don't go taunting this girl. Don't go hitting this girl up. I done read her already. And whatever else she gonna feel is what she gonna feel. Okay? So I'll be right back with part 2. This is Black Span and I'm out.